What you're about to hear has never been shared with Western media testimony. From inside Kim Jong-un's nuclear inner circle, Park Jin-hyuk wasn't just any North Korean official. He handled documents that required the supreme leader's direct approval stamp, papers worth a death sentence if leaked. When 3 classified files disappeared from his desk in December 2024, he had 8 hours before his scheduled interrogation, a polite North Korean term for execution. He escaped across the frozen Yalu River with his family and the nuclear secrets that could reshape our understanding of the regime's capabilities. For more exclusive testimonies, subscribe and become part of our investigative community. I'm Park Jin-hyuk, or at least I used to be. I was a senior official in a nuclear policy research office under the Munitions Industry Department of the Workers' Party directly tied to Kim Jong-un's line. In Pyongyang, it was the kind of post people envied. I graduated near the top of my class from Kim Chek University of Technology. In my mid-20s, the party pulled me in. My parents were overjoyed. "My son is going to serve the general himself," my mother cried, tears rolling down her face. My father raised his glass and bragged to anyone who would listen. During the arduous march, our family lost my little brother to hunger. We didn't survive because the state saved us. We survived because we found a way to be useful to the state. For us, becoming a party cadre wasn't a dream. It was the only way to live. In the early 2000s, Pyongyang still sat in darkness. Power cuts hit every day 3, sometimes 4 hours at a time. Rations never felt like enough. But my life was different. With a munitions industry department ID, I could get special rations. I lived in a high-end apartment near the Taedong River. I had access, others didn't. My wife, Choi Soo-yeon, was a doctor. She graduated from Pyongyang Medical University. We married in 2010. We had 2 children, our daughter, Jimin, and our son, Min Seo. From the outside, we looked like a perfect Pyongyang elite family. Every morning, a black government car took me to work. Every evening, we sat together for dinner. On weekends, we went to Moranbong Park or Mangyongdae's amusement grounds. But something started to feel wrong. The more documents I handled, the clearer the cracks became. The nuclear budget was astronomical. Meanwhile, ordinary people were starving. At meetings, officials repeated the slogan, "Parallel development of the economy and nuclear force." But the economy was collapsing. Only the nuclear program kept growing. In the fall of 2022, I attended a nuclear policy meeting chaired directly by Kim Jong-un. "Our nuclear force is the sword that protects the motherland," he said, firm and cold. But after the meeting, my car passed through the edge of Pyongyang. I saw shacks. I saw children digging through garbage. For the first time, a question surfaced that I couldn't bury. Who was that sword really protecting? That winter, my responsibility expanded. I was placed in charge of managing top-level documents papers that required Kim Jong-un's direct approval. Nuclear employment guidelines, draft nuclear strategy against the South, location reports on major facilities. Each file was worth my life. Lose it, and you were purged. Leak it, and you were executed. I didn't know then that those pages would decide my fate. In early December 2022, 3 documents vanished from my desk. They were there in the morning. By afternoon, they were gone. I hadn't misplaced them. Someone had taken them on purpose. My heart dropped. In my world, missing nuclear documents didn't mean discipline. It meant a firing squad after the investigation. 3 days later, a special emergency meeting was called under Kim Jong-un. The room felt frozen. "Serious errors were found in key nuclear policy documents," he said. "Someone is sabotaging the system. Find the person responsible." His tone was flat. Not angry. Worse, decisive. In that moment, I understood something painful and simple. They didn't just want the truth. They wanted a sacrifice. And my name was already on the list. When the meeting ended, I walked down the hallway. The guards looked at me differently. Their eyes weren't respectful anymore. They were watching. In the elevator, I ran into a deputy director from the department. "Comrade Park," he said quietly, "be careful. The atmosphere is not normal." He didn't say more. He didn't need to. December 3rd. 7:27 p.m. My office phone rang. Are you Park Jin-hyuk? The voice was unfamiliar, cold, emotionless. Yes, I answered. This is the State Security Department. Report to the headquarters interrogation office tomorrow at 800 hours. Sharp. When the call ended, I already knew what it meant. In North Korea, an invitation like that isn't a question. It's a funeral notice. On the drive home, I checked my rear-view mirror. A black sedan stayed behind me. For 30 minutes, it never disappeared. It followed every turn. At my apartment, it parked about 50 meters back. They weren't hiding it anymore. Inside, my wife waited. "Why are you so late?" she asked. Then she saw my face, and the color drained from hers. "I have to go to state security tomorrow morning," I said. She stared at me, frozen. "The missing nuclear documents," I added. "They need someone to blame. I think they chose me." My wife grabbed my hand so hard it hurt. "Then what do we do?" I looked out the window. That black car was still there. "We have 8 hours," I said. 8 hours to decide. Stay here and die, or leave. That night, our life turned into a countdown. December 4th, Sainte M. I woke the children. Jimin was 12. Minicio was 9. They blinked at me, confused and sleepy. "Dad, why are you waking us up?" "Listen carefully," I said. "We have to go on a trip. Right now." "A trip?" Suddenly? It wasn't a trip. It was escape. But I couldn't say that to them. "Do not tell anyone," I warned. "Not your friends. Not anyone. Understand?" They nodded. They could feel the fear, even if they didn't know why. I pulled my emergency cash from the back of the closet. 1,000 U.S. dollars. 30,000 Chinese yuan. Money I'd saved quietly for years just in case. That case was now. From the safe under the bed, I took 3 copies of key documents. "These are our price," I told my wife. "Our life is worth what's written on these pages." She swallowed hard. "Are they really that important?" "They're papers with Kim Jong-un's direct approval stamp," I said. "If we reach the South, they'll take us seriously." At 200 a.m., I sent an encrypted message. The recipient was a border broker near Sinuiju im Jai-ho. "Emergency. Need to move 4 people with urgent cargo." "Possible?" 5 minutes later, the reply came. "Dangerous. Inspections are tighter lately. Cost 20,000. Tonight," I typed back. "You're insane." "No time to prepare." "No other option," I answered. "By morning, I won't exist." After a long pause, his reply arrived. 1200 m. Sinuiju outskirts. Railway factory. Warehouse number 2. Come alone. Family, I wrote. "Insane," he replied. "I know," I sent back. Then I smashed my phone and flushed the pieces down the toilet. No tracking. No signal. Nothing. At 300 a.m., we packed 1 bag of essentials. Dark clothes. Shoes for the kids. A flashlight. Emergency food. And the document copies. Everything else, 20 years of life, had to stay behind. My wife reached for a small family photo. I stopped her. "No," I said. "If our faces are found, it's over." "Then we take nothing?" "We take only memory," I said. At 400 a.m., I opened a drawer and stared at my party membership card. Red cover. Gold letters. When I received it 20 years earlier, it felt like honor. Now it felt like a noose. I left it in the drawer. I couldn't bring it. I couldn't throw it away. At 700 a.m., I dressed like a normal workday. Suit, briefcase, calm face. It was an act. A way to mislead the tale behind me. I drove toward the department building. In the mirror, the black sedan followed. At the underground parking entrance, I turned. Then suddenly cut the wheel and exited the other side. The black sedan tried to U-turn, but traffic trapped it. For the first time all night, I was ahead. Sanker. Meme. My reporting time passed. Now I wasn't just afraid. I was officially a fugitive. There was no going back. 900 a.m. December 4th. We left Pyongyang. The vehicle was an official department car. My clearance papers were valid, issued under my rank. But the moment we crossed the city boundary, I became a traitor to the state. The first checkpoint was at the end of Tongil Street, on Pyongyang's outskirts. "Stop. Show your travel permit." A guard approached. My heart slammed, but my hands stayed steady. I handed over the permit and my ID. "I'm Park Jin-hyuk," I said. Munitions Industry Department. On an inspection trip to Sunan Airport facilities. The guard glanced at the back seat. Who are they? My family, I said. We're visiting relatives near the airport. He checked my wife's and children's IDs. He studied them for too long. Then he lifted his radio. Wait, I thought it was over. Had the warrant already gone out? The radio crackled. Park Jin-hyuk confirmed. Let them pass. The first wall opened. At 1100 a.m., we reached Sunan Airport. Inside, I walked into an office for logistics. I asked the manager quietly, "Is there a freight truck leaving toward Sinuiju today?" He didn't look up. One leaves at 300 p.m. I pulled out a thick stack of dollars. I need a favor. At noon, I met a driver named Han Dong-wook, a 20-year veteran, the kind of man who knew every checkpoint by name. "Comrade," I said, "I need to load special cargo to Sinuiju today." "What kind of cargo?" "People," I said. His face tightened. "That's a death sentence," he whispered. "I know," I said. "But you also need money." I held out $5,000. "Half now, half after." He hesitated, calculating. "What about inspections?" "My permit will get you through," I said. "Drive like normal. If we get caught, you claim you knew nothing." After a long breath, he took the cash and tucked it inside his jacket. 3 p.m. We hid in the back of a large truck loaded with sacks of coal. It was cramped, dark, hard to breathe. My wife held Minseo tightly. I pulled Jimin close. "No sound," I whispered. "Not even a cough." The truck began to move. 4:03 p.m. First checkpoint. Documents. Coal transport. Sunan Airport to Sinuiju Steel Plant. "Open the cargo." A guard climbed up and started shifting sacks. One of those sacks rested directly above my head. I stopped breathing. After a moment, he grunted. "Pass." 600 p.m. Second checkpoint near the boundary of North Pyongan Province. All vehicles. "Full inspection," a voice announced. "This morning, a fugitive escaped from Pyongyang." Munitions Industry Department cadre Park Jin-hyuk. My name. "Unload everything." I felt the floor drop out beneath me. Sacks began to move one after another. Then shouting erupted behind us. Contraband found in a private car trunk. Security officers sprinted away. In the chaos, Han Dong-wook shoved the sacks back into place. "Freight truck! Pass!" someone barked. "Move!" We survived by someone else's bad luck. Tinut. M. We arrived on the outskirts of Sinuiju. The Yalu River was less than 2 hours away. 20 p.m. December 4th. An abandoned industrial area outside Sinuiju. Cold wind cut through the empty factory buildings. I called Im Jae-ho. "We're here." "I'll be there in 10 minutes, he said. My wife's voice shook. "Can we really cross?" "We have to," I said. "There's no other road." A black sedan arrived. Im stepped out. "4 people?" he snapped. "That's a problem. The boat is small." "We came prepared," I said. He checked his watch. "We must reach the riverbank by 11:55. At midnight, they start maintenance on the light tower. The first 90 seconds are the darkest." 90 seconds? "That's your window," he said. After that, the lights come back and patrols restart. We drove to the river. 1500 Mem, we reached a sandbar at the water's edge. The Yalu River spread out in front of us, black, moving, alive. Across the water, faint lights flickered. "That's China," Im said. He pulled a small inflatable boat from the brush. It was smaller than I expected. 3 adults would be a tight fit. I checked the time. 1150 m. 5 minutes. "See that sandbar over there?" Im pointed. "Reach it!" "A Chinese broker is waiting. Signal him with a flashlight, 3 short flashes." We placed the children in the boat first. "No sound," I told them. "No matter what happens." 11:54 and 50 seconds. 10 seconds until the lights go off. Im whispered. I gripped the oar. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 220 Mem. The light tower shut down. "Now!" Im hissed. The boat slid into the water. The river in late December was ice cold. The current was stronger than I imagined. Behind us, shadows moved on the North Korean bank. "Get down," I whispered. Everyone flattened themselves against the boat's floor. Halfway across, a flashlight snapped on behind us. Its beams swept the river. It moved closer. "Don't breathe," I mouthed. Then Minseo slipped and grabbed the boat's edge. Splash. The sound was loud. Too loud. "Who's there?" someone shouted. The flashlight swung hard and locked onto us. "There! Defectors!" A whistle pierced the night. "Row!" I screamed under my breath. I drove the oar like my life depended on it, because it did. Gunfire cracked. "Shoot! Shoot!" Bullets slapped the water around us. I pressed the children down, shielding them with my body. A flare shot into the sky. The night turned white. Tracers streaked toward us. A bullet tore into the boat's side. Water began to seep in. "It's sinking!" my wife gasped. On the Chinese sandbar, a flashlight blinked 3 times. The signal. I rowed until my arms burned. The boat hit the sandbar and flipped. We fell into the freezing river. We clawed forward and crawled onto the sand. 2 Chinese brokers rushed us. "Up! Move!" one hissed. "There's a van." We stumbled into a black van that took off immediately. I reached into my inner pocket. My party membership card. I thought I had left it behind, but somehow I'd grabbed it. Without thinking, I opened the window and threw it out. The red card vanished into the darkness. So did 20 years of my life. December 5th. Tresensei M. A room in Dandong, China. We sat on a bed in fresh clothes, still shivering. Outside the window, the Yalu River was visible. Hours earlier, it had been a death line. Now it looked calm. I wanted to believe we were safe, but we weren't. A Chinese broker entered. "Be careful here too," he said. "If Chinese police catch North Korean defectors, they send them back." "Send them back?" my wife whispered. "Repatriation," he said. "And that means public execution for you." The words cut through me. "We'll move at 400 a.m. tomorrow," he continued. "To Beijing. People connected to the South will be waiting." December 5th passed like a prison day. We couldn't leave the room, not even for fresh air. The kids grew restless. "Dad, when can we go outside?" Jimin asked. "Just a little longer," I said. "We're going somewhere safer." But I didn't know how long a little longer really was. That evening, the broker returned. "We have a problem." "What kind of problem?" "North Korea requested cooperation from Chinese police," he said. "They're looking for a defector named Park Jin-hyuk." My chest tightened. "Travel to Beijing is riskier now." "More checks," he said. "You have to wait." About a week. A week. Inside that cramped room, a week felt like a year. Every siren outside made my blood run cold. Every footstep in the hallway sounded like a knock on the door. I had nightmares. Interrogation rooms. Public execution grounds. Ropes. Gun barrels. Applause. I woke drenched in sweat. My wife was fading too. "Can we really make it to South Korea?" she asked. "We have to," I said. "If they catch us here, it's over." Then Minseo developed a fever. A simple cold. But we couldn't go to a hospital. A hospital meant papers, questions, exposure. The broker brought medicine. "This is all I can do," he said. December 11th. Finally, the signal came. "Prepare. Tomorrow at 400 a.m." That night, sleep wouldn't come. The river was visible again through the window. On the other side, North Korea lay in darkness. Somewhere in that darkness was Pyongyang, the place I lived for 20 years, a place I could never return to. December 12th. 400 a.m. We got into a car headed for Beijing. The driver was Chinese. "Do not speak," he warned. "At checkpoints, pretend you're asleep." For 12 hours, we traveled in silence. We hit 2 checkpoints. Police leaned into the window and stared. My wife hugged the children and stayed perfectly still. I shut my eyes. My heartbeat felt loud enough to betray me. Then a voice said, "Pass." At 400 p.m., we arrived outside a plain apartment building in Beijing. It didn't look special, but it was a South Korean protective facility. 2 Korean men in suits came out. "Are you Park Jin-hyuk?" one asked. The moment I heard Korean spoken like that, free, confident, I felt my eyes burn. "Yes," I said. "We'll take you somewhere safe," he said. For the first time in a week, I exhaled like a man alive. December 12th. Interview room. A South Korean intelligence officer sat across from me. "What did you do in North Korea?" "I worked in the nuclear policy office under the munitions department," I said. "Direct line to Kim Jong-un's chain." His eyes sharpened. "What kind of work?" "Specifically, I handled nuclear documents," I said. operational guidelines, missile deployment plans, negotiation strategy. Do you have proof? I pulled 3 plastic-wrapped pages from inside my clothing. They were wet, but still readable. This is a copy of Nuclear Employment Guidelines, I said. It has Kim Jong-un's approval stamp. He opened the pages, then reached for his radio. Seoul headquarters, he said. High-value source confirmed. Prepare immediate transfer. 2 days of questioning followed. Facility locations, development levels, names of key officials. 20 years of secrets left my head, one answer at a time. Your testimony will affect the security of the peninsula, he said. I nodded. It was all I could offer now. December 15th. I boarded a special flight to South Korea. We boarded quietly through a cargo terminal at Beijing Capital Airport. The plane was small, private. Fasten your seatbelt, someone said. We're departing. As the plane lifted, Beijing's lights spread below like a sea. Then they fell away. North Korea, China, the chase. All of it slipped farther behind. 2 hours later, the pilot's voice came over the speaker. We will soon land at Incheon International Airport. Incheon, South Korea. My chest tightened. Around 1100 p. The plane landed again at a cargo side, away from normal passengers. The door opened. Cold air hit my face. South Korean air. 2 black vans waited. Get in, someone said. We drove, and Seoul appeared bright, endless, alive. The city didn't sleep. Skyscrapers glowed. Cars filled the roads. Min Seo stared out the window. Dad, he whispered. It's night. Why is it so bright? There are no blackouts here, I told him. Wow, he breathed. Jimin couldn't look away either. Dad, what are those tall buildings? Apartments, I said. People live in them. So high that's allowed? Here, it is, I said. We arrived at a protected facility in Gyeonggi Province. You'll stay here for a while, an official told us. For your safety, you'll receive a new identity. A new name, I asked. You can't live as Park Jin-hyuk, he said. North Korea will keep searching. December 16th. I received a new resident ID card. My new name, Kim Tae-min. For 20 years, I was Park Jin-hyuk. Now I was someone else. It felt strange, but I accepted it. That was the price of freedom. December 21st. 1 week into protection, everything still felt unreal. I turned on the TV. There were countless channels. In North Korea, that was unimaginable. News, drama, comedy, commercials. The commercials shocked me most. Everything was for sale. Cars, phones, cosmetics, food, things we couldn't buy in Pyongyang, even with money. One day, a handler took us to a supermarket. Buy what you need, he said. The moment we walked in, I froze. The shelves were overflowing. Rice, meat, vegetables, fruit, snacks, drinks, everything, everywhere. My wife began to cry. Is this all real? She asked. It's real, I said. Min Seo stood at the snack aisle like he'd seen another planet. Dad, he asked, can I eat any of these? Pick what you want, I said. He filled his arms. At checkout, I used a card the government provided. I typed a PIN. The payment went through. In North Korea, you could have cash and still find nothing to buy. Here, the goods were already waiting. January 2023. Resettlement programs began. Language training, job training, counseling. They called it Korean, but it was really learning how South Koreans speak. Not comrade friend, not people's unit neighborhood, not ration center market. Everything had a different name, a different rhythm, a different life. The children enrolled in school. Jimin entered middle school. Min Seo entered elementary school. On the first day, Jimin came home crying. What happened? I asked. They make fun of me, she said. They say I'm a defector. My accent is weird. My chest tightened again. Just endure a little, I told her. You'll adjust. But I knew it wouldn't be easy. One night, I went to the rooftop alone. I looked north. Somewhere beyond that horizon was North Korea, Pyongyang, my parents' graves, the place my little brother died. Freedom came with loss. Then Jimin came up behind me. Dad, she said softly, you're here. Why did you come up? I asked. You looked sad, she said. She took my hand. Dad, we did the right thing, right? I looked at her. Yes, I said, we did. For you, I added. For your future. January 15th. I received a final briefing from South Korean intelligence. Your testimony helped us understand North Korea's nuclear program, the officer said. Thank you. If there's more I can do, tell me, I said. For now, focus on adapting, he replied. That's what matters most. At night, I kept thinking. In Pyongyang, I was Park Jin-hyuk, a loyal cadre serving Kim Jong-un. But it had been built on lies. The system was a lie, and my life inside it was a lie. Here, I was Kim Tae-min, a new person, a man living something that felt like real freedom. Spring 2023. Cherry blossoms bloomed. We went to a park as a family. We sat under pink branches and ate lunch. The children laughed and ran. My wife squeezed my hand. I'm happy, she said. Me too, I said. I meant it. But whenever I looked north, a thought returned. If reunification ever comes, will I step on my hometown soil again? Will I visit my parents' graves? Will I stand where my brother is buried? I don't know, but I still have hope. I hope my children's generation won't inherit a divided country. I hope they live in a nation without this wound. That is my wish. As Kim Tae-min, in a free republic of Korea, dreaming of peace and reunification,